Hi everyone, I welcome you here in this class. And in this we are learning today about Hinduism. When you are learning a language, you must learn the culture also. Culture is the part of the language, and language is the part of the culture. If you are learning a language, you must understand about that culture also. So today we are going to discuss about Hinduism. Hinduism is one of the oldest religion in the world, and as per the data, there are 1.2 billion people follow this religion. This is not just a religion. This is a way of life. In Hinduism, people practice the eternal way of life that is called Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma means it's not specifically a religion, it's the religion of practice. Where in Hinduism, people have a philosophies, people have ethics, they follow, they perform their duties. So there are four principles of life in Hinduism. Is Dharma. Dharma means duties. Dharma, Arth. Arth is work, money making. Kam, Kam is passion, desire, or this can be a sexual desire too. It does not mean to eternal pleasure. This means to continuation of a generation. So Dharma, Arth, Kam, and the last one is the Moksha. Moksha is the liberation from birth to rebirth after the death. In Hinduism, people believe that you reincarnate again after your death according to your karma. So, to attain a moksha, it is not easy. It is very difficult. You have to be honest. You have to be truthfulness. You have to be loyal towards your work. Then only you attain your moksha according to your karma. If you have a good karma, then you get a human's life. If you have a mixed karma, then you get a difficult life. But if you have a good karma, a selfless karma, then you attain a moksha. That's what the Hindu believes. Hindu believes in practices. There are 33 million god and goddesses in Hinduism. It's such a vast religion where people follow. When you're doing any kind of rituals, you have to invite all these 33 million god and goddesses in Hinduism. And each of them there is a mantra. The letter Om, that mantra start with, that represent whole universe. We have three main deities. Brahma is creator, Vishnu is preserver, and Shiva, the god of destruction. And Shakti is called Devi, the female deity, the divine, mother divine is called the Adi Shakti Devi. So, the one who create us, the one who give us a birth, is Brahma. His work is done. Then Vishnu, we must need to be looked after the being birth. So Vishnu has been given a responsibility to look after us, and everyone who is born must die. Shiva is the god of destruction. So these three main deities in Hinduism. And there is a classification of following the Hindu people follow their deities. Vaishnavism, the follower of Vishnu, is called the Vaishnavism. Shaivism, the follower of Shiva, is called Shaivism. And Shaktism is the follower of Mother Divine, is called Shaktism. So these all are the main deities that the Hindu peoples follow. Doing a good karma in Hinduism is considered to be honest, working hard, and in Hindu people, we have almost every single day there is a festival. Celebrating the festivals, visiting a shrine, a holy shrine, we have a tirth. Tirth is called the pilgrimage places. There are 12 Jyotirlinga in India. Jyotirlinga are a self-erecting temple where a born Hindu must visit these shrines. There are Shakti Peeth. Shakti Peeth means the places where the Shakti. When this is another story that I should relate here. When Shiva's wife, the Parvati, was burning, then the Shiva gone crazy, and then he started taking Parvati's and he started dance. Then different part of her body fell in a different part of India. It's called Shakti Peeth. So we have so many Shakti Peeths in India. There are around 51 Shakti Peeth that the Hindu must visit all these places for before their death. These are the principles of Hinduism that the people practices. Japa is a recitation. We must have been given a mantra by your gurus. You must have a guru in Hinduism. People have when you're born. After, there are so many rituals that takes place. There are 16 rituals in Hinduism that a born Hindu must follow. 15 rituals are done while you are actively participated, and the last ritual is called the death ritual, which is performed by your death. That is called Antim Sanskara. There is no any rituals left after your death. That is called Antim Sanskara. So these rituals, according to the life and stage, the people follow and they perform. So when you get a birth, you have a Nam Karan Sanskar. You are given a name, you started feedings, you started walking, then we have the people, nose speakings, and all these are rituals. Then you start going to the school where you meet your guru, a guru that gives you the knowledge, traditional Vedic knowledge. We used to travel to now in modern schools, now we are going to the school. Before they are going to the ashram. Ashram is the place where the kids used to go, and they are staying at the place of guru. They are doing a seva. Seva is a service to the guru, and they are getting a knowledge, receiving a knowledge from the teacher. So that is the rituals. Then after getting educations, we are getting grown up, we are getting adult. And there was one ritual called Yagyopavit Sanskar. This is before going to their guru. They have to follow the Hindu rituals, taking a bath early in the morning and jumping the recitation of a mantra that is given by the guru. That's make you so much powerful. That's what Hindu believes. Adi Sankaracharya, one of the guru, who started doing a pilgrimage journey, and he established so many traditional. However, this Vedic tradition is still continuously coming back from 1,000-2,000 years old. There is no actual early Vedic period. That tradition is still alive in India. Particularly in Varanasi, there are so many schools where the kids are coming from a different part of India to learn the Vedic education. There are 4 Vedas in Hinduism. These Vedas, teachings about the life. Rig Veda, the mantra that you hear, that you learn from the Rig Veda, the rituals that you perform from the Rig Veda. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda. Yajur Veda is the Vedas of treatment, the medicine. Atharva Veda, the Tantric. The Tantric, they follow these Vedas, and Sham Veda is the Vedas for the music. You learn the music, traditional Indian classical music. There are rhythms, there are steps of music that we learn from the Sham Vedas. So these 4 Vedas in Hinduism that the practices and learn. There are Hindu text has been classified in the 2 forms: Shruti, what you heard, and Smriti, what has been memorized, what has been remembered. There are Upanishad, Puran, Gitas, one of the part of the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, that the people follow. The Bhagavad Gita is one of the best teaching of Lord Krishna to the Arjuna in a war of Mahabharata, and that is a completely a spoken. It's not written or something. That was a teaching to Arjuna from Lord Krishna, and we are learning in Bhagavad Gita. It's like teachings about your life. Life could be difficult. Life could be tough. Your duties, your performance, your role. What you have been assigned to. Whatever situation you are, if you are reading a Bhagavad Gita, this will give you a strength, energy. So, Hinduism is not, it's just limited, it's the vast. Everyone has their own, could be a ideal deities they follow. And let me tell you, the most of the participants of Hinduism, the practitioners are the women. Because traditionally the male used to go to the work and the female are at the home. Women are used to be at home and they have more time to practice. So still that tradition, if you could see the festivals, celebrations, any rituals happening, the women are actively participating in these rituals, and they're going to the temples and fasting, observing fasting. We have a Navaratri. Navaratri is the different 9 manifestations of Durga. I was talking to you earlier about the Adi Shakti. So during this Navaratri, the male, women, man, everyone, they fast and they visit the temples, but most of them are mostly the women. It is believed that when you worshipping a deities, a female deity, a Shakti, you get much more power and energy from Mother Divine. That's what Hindu believes. Shaktism is the follower of Mother Divine. What people follow. You could see the symbol of Hinduism. Om, the letter Om is written. That is the symbol of Hinduism that represents the 3 main deities, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and Shakti, that represent whole universe. That's what Hindu believes. Hindus start their way in the morning. First things, they go to the baths. They go to the river where they do their bathings and recitations, and after that they start their day, and then again in the evening they perform the same way and they pray. So in Hinduism it is believed that one must worship at least 3 times a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and before they go to the bed. There are 33 million god and goddesses. You may have seen every Hindu must have a place of worship. When they are constructing a home or house, they follow the process of building the house, where they follow exactly where the rooms should be, bedroom should be, and the location, the kitchen, that is called Vastu Shastra. Vastu Shastra, it gives a guideline that where and how, at what location would be your bedroom, your kitchen, your storeroom, a place of worship. According to that, you fulfill. So that's the follower, the people follow in Hinduism. Now, astrology is one of the beliefs in Hinduism. People believe in Hinduism that's called Rasi. Rasi is the sign. According to your birth chart, you are a sign. Like mine is Libra. So according to the star, I will be influenced by my star, and accordingly I have to follow like stones and worshipping the gods. After every 18 years, there is one star that make rotations. So if you go to the astrologer, your guru, he advises you that you should worship at particularly this time to influence that particular stars that moving in your birth chart. So we believe in those things. You know, in Hinduism, people pray the nature. There are so many festivals that you could see that they are going to the rivers. You know, they are taking a bath, and they are staying whole night over there, and they are worshipping the god, the deities, the nature, Lord Sun, the river, sand, nature, trees. So this was to be a tradition of preserving the nature. You know, yajna is one of the rituals that has been seen like while the chanting. This is traditional. You know, when the ancient saint used to do a yajna, the chanting the mantra and they're putting into the fire, and they are using sandalwood, camphor, so that this atmosphere can get clean and there should be a positive energy. But at the same time, they are cutting the trees. But it is believed that, it is says that, it has been written in the text, before cutting the trees, you must plant one tree. Then only you can cut the trees. So this is like what it has been taught in tradition that the people are still should follow and practices this. There are so many festivals that the people are following. So Hinduism is not just a religion; it's a matter. It's a festival. It's a religion of practices. How you practice. You know, the symbols, you could see that they have a shikha. Shikha is, you know, they are like a tail that you could see that they are, usually the people have a hair, and they apply a tilak. Tilak is a symbol of a dot when you go to visit the temples. As I was telling you, the Saivism, Shaktism and Vaishnavism, according to their what they follow, they do the tilak on their forehead. So these are the symbol of Hinduism. So I hope this is helpful and useful for you, and I will be coming with more theme, more classes in the next video. Thank you so much.